Hey guys, today we're doing another real world homestead product review. There's no sponsorship here. I'm not getting any kind of special, accommodation for it. They didn't send me this for free. Nobody paid me to say this. This is something I'd like to start doing is tell you about what we actually use here on the homestead, okay? This is one right here that we personally use on our Florida homestead, and honestly, it has worked very well for us, okay? It is called Miracle-Gro Quick Start Planting and Transplant Starting Solution. Gives transplants the nutrients they need to thrive. Okay, folks, if you've ever been in the Florida heat, then you already know how brutal transplant shock can be. If you move any pots from a pot into the ground and suddenly, you get that the leaves will start to droop. The growth will just completely straight up stop. The yellowing will start. The plants will just start looking miserable. And sometimes they just straight up die, especially in our sandy Florida soil with heat indexes over 95 degrees. So today I want to talk about whether this stuff right here is actually worth buying or if it's just another gimmick, okay? Because let's be honest, there's a lot of gimmicks out there in the store shelves. Honestly, I'm going to tell y'all right now, for us, here at DiamondTrail Ranch, this has absolutely earned a permanent place on the homestead shelf. We've personally used it on hibiscus, figs, Barbados cherry, citrus trees like lemon and tangerine, ornamentals, garden plants, you name it. I'm actually going to go ahead and show you what I've used it on personally. That way you can see whether this is right for you and your homestead. It's probably, 90, at least 90, 95 degrees. Okay, it gets hot here. We are in a drought condition. I've used this on blackberries, bananas, you name it. Okay, it's just been absolutely fantastic for us. One thing, though, I think newer gardeners underestimate, really honestly, is how stressful transplanting actually is for said plants. This right here is we're letting our some chicken poop dry out because it's going to get added to the compost with our bananas here. That feeds the bananas very, very well. So imagine being ripped out of your house. Okay, this is going to be a summary of what is transplant shock. You're ripped out of your home. Okay, say you have roots. You're just ripped up straight out of your home, okay? And then you get shoved into a blazing hot ground. Boom. This is what we're looking at, okay? A little orchard we got going on our 2-acre homestead, okay? Ooh, this Barbados is flowering beautifully. Friends, Miracle-Gro Transplant Shock. Set this bad boy alive right here. Happy as can be. You can see fresh new green growth, okay? You can see the flowers. Look, check this out. That's awesome. This Barbados, when we first put it in the ground, it was screaming for ice cream. It was scared. It was sad. It was falling over. I was like, oh boy, this ain't good. And I said, this thing ain't going to make it. You know what helped it? The stuff we're using, the transplant shock solution. This fig tree, clearance tree, I stuck in the ground. It was completely disease ridden, this fig right here. It was sad, scared. I hit it with some transplant shock. Boom. Look at this fig tree, folks. This was a clearance tree. Are you guys familiar with clearance trees at big box stores? Guys, I have cuttings in my other videos. You can see, it's even trying to fruit directly off of this bad boy right here. I had a whole little tree come off the bottom, actually. When you're ripped out of the ground and you're thrown into another spot, or a pot even, and thrown directly into the ground, that's transplant shock, okay? And your fruit trees are going to feel it, they're going to see it, they're going to deal with it. In Florida, doing that at the wrong time is make or break is an understatement, for lack of better terms. I use transplant shock on everything. I've learned to love it, live with it, and love it, because it's better to be safe than sorry, and it's not going to hurt what you're doing, okay? People in cooler climates sometimes don't realize how aggressive Central Florida's conditions really are. Maybe you're in Arizona or Texas, you know what we're talking about, okay? The sun here is intense. The sand drains fast. Humidity swings are just absolutely wild. Might be 67% humidity, and then a couple hours later, I'm not even kidding, it'll be 98% humidity. The feel like temperature will be 115 degrees mid-June. Guys, that's Florida. That's zone 10A Florida, okay? It's just You want to give your plant as much of an advantage as possible when you're transplanting, okay? Don't make it an uphill battle. If you're gonna, I mean, it's kind of an uphill battle anyway. That's just kind of par for the course with transplanting. But you can ease it. You can give it some social lubricant, if you will, and it will help it ease into its new area. I used it on this tangerine here, which has a ton of new growth. We also dealt with frost horribly last year. Also used it on Meyer lemon, which is getting new growth. Hibiscus over there. As you can see, this stuff is in direct sunlight. So, all right, I'm going to go back and tell you exactly how we use this stuff. Well, what I like about it. Honestly, one of my favorite things about it, simple. Seriously, you mix it with some water, and you just water it in the transplant. Okay, that's it. It doesn't have a complicated setup. There's no expensive equipment to go with it. And what we've personally noticed, I'll be completely honest with you, is I've personally witnessed far less drooping, much faster recovery. Do yourself a favor and set 2 plants aside, maybe cheap ones or some cuttings. That way you didn't pay for them, right? The cuttings. Set 2 aside in pots, right? Put one in the ground with the transplant solution. I challenge you. And then put one in the ground without it. Give them kind of the same generalized area, okay? Give them, you know, the same setting, whether they're both the time frame of the sun, and see how they do. I can almost guarantee the one that's using this product right here, guys, we're not getting paid to say this. This is my honest, this is just what I pulled off the shelf and it has worked, okay? The one that's using this stuff is going to do you huge favors, okay? Now again, it's not magic though, okay? If you plant in some terrible conditions, like clay, like straight up clay, and you just leave it and you don't water, again, folks, this isn't going to save it, okay? It's like, think of it as a supplement, right? Or, you know, kind of a men's multivitamin or whatever you got, you know, whatever we're taking. It's beautiful. I'm going to show you what's in it. This stuff right here, there's the directions. Okay, it's got the nitrogen, phosphates. Guys, if you're using compost tea, you might be familiar with compost tea. You hit this. Boy, if you have compost tea and this Miracle-Gro Quick Start, holy cow, I'm telling you, you're going to have an absolute fantastic transplant routine. Make it your routine, and transplanting will never be the same for you. I can't wait to get these cuttings in the ground. They're all starting to come up. They're all very fresh. Even this one that I pulled. It's okay that the leaves are drooping. Guys, this is only a couple days. This is what they do. It's normal. I can't wait to show you guys what it looks like in a couple days, because this fig is going to thrive. It's so easy. And the hibiscus I showed you is just responding well. Not just fruit things, trees and whatnot, but you know, anybody who grows hibiscus knows they can get dramatic when you transplant them. You know, the leaves will drop, the blooms will drop, they'll get stressed really quickly. Using this stuff while watering them in honestly seems to help them bounce very quickly. Again, figs are pretty resilient overall. You give them a splash of this stuff and some water, you know, like the directions tell you, and boy, that first week or two, make or break generally, but you put this in there, you'll be fine, okay? Really. I think products like this matter more than ever in 2026 because the world's getting crazy. Plants aren't cheap. Have you seen the price of plants out there? I mean, seriously, this is this isn't what's in it. Obviously, it's a fig, but just to show you an example, right? 3.78 gallon citrus tangerine, a honey dwarf, $75, okay? $75, friends. Fruit trees are expensive. Garden starts are expensive. Soil is expensive. You ever buy dirt? It's expensive to buy dirt in the store, guys. People don't want to lose a $40 tree because it got transplant shock. And it happens. You want to stretch every dollar in the right direction, right? I mean, honestly, most homesteaders, that's what they're doing. So, if something's going to improve the survival rates, I'm looking at you, Quick Start Miracle-Gro. That matters. That's why I wanted to make this video, because I think people are tired of fake online reviews, guys. I'm only going to review things that we use You know, it's not going to be something that it's not biased. I used it. I saw the results. Okay. Wasn't told to say this. Everything you see online now is, oh, that's the best product ever. You need this. It's life-changing. Half the time the person hasn't even used it themselves. I've seen people review things that they haven't even opened, or they just cracked it open in the video. I'm like, really? Come on. So we want this channel to stay very real. It's still pertaining 100%, 110% to homesteading content. If we review something here, it's because we actually used it. We actually tested it. We actually saw results. Okay. I'm not going to waste your time and show you a product that just everything died. Okay. That would be stupid. Although I may make the video and say, don't buy this crap. Anyway, gardening is hard enough as it is. There's bugs, there's heat, there's drought, overwatering, underwatering. You know, your chickens, man, do you see this on the ground? I'm dealing with the chickens that jump up here and just kick things down. You know, sometimes you just need a product that'll help make your life a little bit easier instead of harder. Guys, I don't work for Miracle-Gro or anything. We're just a normal homestead in Central Florida. So take it for what it's worth. Hopefully it's worth it for you. You dig the hole first, you loosen the soil around it, okay, around that soil. You water thoroughly. You mix that quick start solution, water it in around the roots. You mulch heavily afterward. Boom, boom, boom. You're going to mulch in Florida, okay? Mulch, mulch, mulch. I want to make sure I get that in this video because it helps to regulate soil temperatures. It holds that moisture, protects those shallow roots, and it's really going to break compost into your soil and give it just much healthier overall. You'll see earthworms. You can't, you know, it's hard. You can't pay for the soil we have here. It's awesome. So anyway, you transplant something stressed and weak, and then weeks later it's thriving. There's peace in that, especially in a world that just feels chaotic. So, the news is nonstop negativity. I'm throwing something on your timeline with some positivity. Okay. Everything feels expensive. People are stressed. You go outside, water your plants. You hear those ducks. Guys, your fruit trees are growing. It reminds you God is still creating every day. He created a beautiful world, okay? God's honest truth, we love this product. It's affordable, it's easy to use, it's beginner friendly. And for our homestead here in Central Florida, it has consistently helped reduce transplant shock. Would I buy it again? Absolutely. And again, we are not endorsed to say this. We're just one homesteader trying to help another. Let me know in this comment section below. Have you ever used this stuff before?